In the beginning days, it was more like I took it like college, like a school to learn the business. You know, it's really key if you're gonna get into a partnership. It's like a marriage, it's like a relationship. You know, you really have to think it through and make the right decision because
It's Movified Mondays. It's Movified Mondays, where mindset meets momentum.
Welcome back to Movified. I'm your host, Mark Hirschi, owner of Salmon's Moving and Storage and Ellis Moving Storage, located in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. But we are out in Worcester, Ohio. If you don't know where Worcester is, look it up. It is the very sleepy town, but also one of the most beautiful small cities that I've been to. There's so much history and buildings that have historic monuments. Like it's quite nice. Everybody's enjoying themselves. But we are at Built to Move, led by Tim Krupp. If you haven't heard of Tim Krupp, he owns Krupp's Moving and Storage. Also, he opened up a location in Cleveland. He is the master out here, out in Ohio, who has built his businesses, and we're excited to be part of Built to Move for the week. But we're not talking about Built to Move. We are here with two brothers, Northeastern Movers. Boys, you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
yes, sir. Edward McKeenan, originally from Brooklyn, New York. We have two locations: Brooklyn, New York, Scranton, Pennsylvania, and this is my brother Brian McKeenan.
Yes. So, hello. Hey, guys. Brian McKeenan. As my brother said, we're brothers. We're in the business together. We own and operate a couple of branches, Brooklyn, New York, Scranton, Pennsylvania for the past 7 years, New York for about 20 plus, and we're, going strong, and hopefully in time we'll expand to another location.
Now, don't worry, everybody. We will make sure there's captions on the video because these boys got some heavy Boston accents going on. So I'm trying to decipher how
New York accents.
New York accents. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mark, ask away.
Ask away. Well, first, I always like to start with like branding and marketing. You guys started over 20 years ago, got into the business. What made you come up with the name Northeastern?
Well, Mark, after decades of being in the business, I got in the business in 1998 as a helper, and I've experienced all facets of the business. Started out as a helper, became a driver, a dispatcher, a salesman, a sales manager, a manager, and ultimately an owner. So started in 98. In 2002, I had my first company. It was called Top Priority Moving, Brooklyn, New York, and had that for about 5 years. Very successful. Exited that company, went to go work for the van lines, actually Beacon's Van Lines, as an on-site estimator, and left. Opened another moving company in Brooklyn, TDY Moving. Had that for about another 5 years, and exited that as well. Went back to work for Beacons in the interim, and then eventually wanting to basically control the northeastern part of the state.
There comes Northeastern Movers.
Yes. So I said, you know what? Northeastern Movers is the move. And we opened Northeastern Movers, and here we are today.
Bring me back to like the early 2000s.
Oh my
right?
God.
Because you're talking about, I was in it, I was out. I was in it, I was out, right?
Yeah.
A lot of us always go, all right, I just want to get out of this game.
Yeah.
And then we always somehow find our way back into the game.
Okay.
But were there some like highs, lows, like what was happening during these times where you just, put the hat down, like I'm out?
Look, I think I caught the moving disease, I mean, I got into business, and I kind of loved helping people through the stressful time, through the process. And I'm not college educated. So I said, look, I either have to really kill this or I'm going to be working at McDonald's or something, So in the beginning days, it was more like I took it like college, like a school to learn the business. And why I was in and out of different companies that I owned was bad partnerships. It's really key if you're going to get into a partnership. It's like a marriage. It's like a relationship. You really have to think it through and make the right decision, because just in a lot of times you'll find yourself doing all the work, and the partner you have might not have the same drive that you do.
Were these like buddies of yours? You're like, hey man, like let's get into business together. Are these like family members? I mean, unfortunately, we're you're stuck with your brother Brian here, but
But he's the best partner ever.
The first group of partners I had,
$5, all right?
the first group of partners I had, well, look, I was 22 in 2002. So I was in the business 5 years. A couple of guys noticed me. They saw me doing my thing. And they were like a 1-2 truck operation, small little thing. And they said, look, Eddie, we want you to come in as a partner. We'll give you 33 1/3, no money down. Like, just come in and do your thing. And like, I took that company from 1 truck to 12 trucks in 2 years. Like, big warehouse, the whole 9 yards. We were killing the market. Back in the Yellow Pages days, you know what I mean? Just put it in.
Who's the one that was getting burnt out?
I wasn't burnt out by any means. I had so much drive. I lived in the office. I worked 7 days a week. I was there from open to close. I mean, I did everything from sales to dispatch, on-set estimates. You name it, I did it.
This is like good CRMs too. Yeah, it's this old school. This is whiteboard.
This is DOS. I had a program on DOS. Of course, it wasn't like web. I mean, you had to be in the office to log into the.
Those young people are listening to it. Go look at what DOS is.
Yeah.
This is like old school Nintendo. All right.
Excuse me. So, yeah, there was a little bit of it. We had a website, like a real crappy one, like a real. Yeah, I mean, just have a website back then was a thing,
Oh, sure, yeah.
So the days of the Yellow Pages, you could put an ad in the Yellow Pages and the phone would ring. I mean, sometimes I wish I can go back to that.
Yeah, back then we had full page ads. Borough, Westchester.
You had the full page, and the Yellow Page was like what you were doing. You were in the game.
Yeah.
You're paying the top dollar, but
Yeah.
people were searching only in those first couple pages. And if you end up going into those quarter pages, you were like a yellow. Yeah, it's some.
You were like a G. You were like the king. If you had, they used to call it a double truck. If you had the 2 full pages next to each other, you used to take the 2 full pages. So that was like a big thing. So yeah, I mean, that was like a learning curve. I mean, my first 5 years owning a business with partners took advantage of me. I mean,
What were I know that you're talking about taking advantage, but what were some of those like pivotal moments that you're just like if I could find these guys again, I'd want to knock them out?
oh yeah, 100%. A lot of griminess and scum and the worst of the worst. And yeah, I mean, I just had to make the best of it, learn from it.
What were they doing that was just like
Laziness. I mean, not wanting to work,
Going on 3-4 months vacation.
taking loans out behind my back, like financial things, kind of like skimming from the company. I was so dedicated. I was so ignorant. I wasn't even watching the money. Honestly, I was just so focused on doing the sales and the dispatch, and I didn't even watch
that's
the
the thing, right? You're young, you're getting the business, you're happy. We trust you're like a shit line, like we're killing it. Exactly, right? Your chest is out a little bit more because you're in your 20s and just like you think you're fucking killing it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're growing at the rate you guys are.
Yeah.
But no one, especially even at that time, like no one's sitting down going, all right, man, hey, we're gonna go through the financials. Hey, let's just make sure that like you're actually profiting here. You're just going, shit, everybody's paying cash. You got lots of cash in their pocket.
I used to walk around with. I mean,
People think you're a fucking drug dealer.
I walked around with lots of cash every day. It was mostly paid by cash back then.
Sure, of course.
And yeah, I mean, I was just going full throttle.
These guys are off just taking months.
Yeah, and you know what? Then I started noticing things when they were buying cars after cars and going on vacations and fancy things and jewelry and money and this and that. But
So you walk away, you move on.
I walked away. I went to the van line.
Right.
I worked for Beacons, Mafucci, great company. They were the biggest, best agent, I guess. Maybe we're 1 or 2 in the country. All right, out of Long Island, dynamite people. I learned a lot. I went from being an independent guy, going to work for the van line, learned a lot, dynamite
Were you
people.
back on the trucks?
I went right away to be an on-site estimator.
Really?
Yeah.
Before we ever started using a moving CRM, someone asked me, could you 10x what you're doing right now with the current systems and processes you have in place? And I said no. And so he was like, well, then you need to just pull the trigger on the software. And then I saw Smart Moving and it was game over.
Austin joined thousands of moving owners on Smart Moving in 2021. Since then, he's more than doubled his business.
And And I always compare smart moving to Apple products. It's just so simple, so easy to use, and that's really what's allowed my team to scale and now have 2 branches. And last year we scaled Central Coast Moving over 50% growth.
If you're ready to turn your moving company into a machine that drives profit, not chaos, try Smart Moving.
Being found on the second page of Google is literally like having a billboard in the middle of the desert. Your mama ain't gonna see it. No one's gonna see it. You're on the second page of Google, no one's gonna call, no one's gonna book. Here is the deal. If your business is not ranking on the top of Google, that means your competitors are going to be stealing your customers every single day. So at Rotate Digital, we don't play any guessing games. We use data-driven SEO strategies to make sure Google finds you first so that these Google searches turn into your customers, not your competitors' customers. How do we do it? We do it through AI-driven keyword optimization, exclusive blog networks, backlinking strategies, and honestly, the secret stuff, the proprietary lead attribution software. So what do you get as a result? You get not only good marketing, but now you get clarity into what is bringing you more revenue. So if that's something you want to do, you want to make sure your leads find you and not your competition, go ahead and go to rotatedigital.com, schedule a call, and we'll help you take your business to the top of Google.
And I taught this to lots where, you know, my philosophy always is, because I worked in the restaurants, is start in the kitchen before becoming a server.
Yeah.
So you understand the products, you understand the ingredients that are going into the food that you're trying to sell someone right then and there.
Yeah, well,
And so to go from being an independent, like I always say, shit, I got a leg up because, you know, I'm part of a band line, I can learn all this stuff, but then I get the opportunity to hang out with a bunch of independents to find out what they're doing.
yeah.
And it's like, now here you are, you're working back into a band line system, you're an on-site estimator, going from independent, you know, that switch to go, shit, I got to learn tariff pricing. We got to do long distance. How, especially when you think of where you are now, the amount that you're learning from the different perspectives must have been key.
You know, it's funny, Mark. So back to 98, I got in, like, I just want to reiterate where I came from. I did start as a helper. I did go on the trucks. I did everything. I mean, everything from the beginning, from scratch as a helper. So 2002 to 2007. So 2007, when I enter Beacons, they still have no CRM. They're doing everything old school on paper. I had to learn the tariff, and I had to do the estimates on paper without any kind of help. I mean, it was a lot of mathematical equations.
Sheets and
Adding different tariff discounts, and it was a lot of paper and a lot of writing. And then eventually when they implemented CRM and stuff like that, computers, I mean, it was a lot easier. I mean, I would think everybody who gets into this business should experience having to do it the hard way a little bit.
For sure.
Mark, so 2007, I started working with them as an on-site estimator. I learned a lot. And I did well. I was ranked about number 8 in the country.
Wow.
Out of the whole van line system, and you know, I was booking millions of dollars a year for them.
Because it was a huge name right there. I mean,
They still are.
Like,
We purchased them in 2012. Then they went on to purchase Clark and Reed, Stevens, Arpin, and I think that's about it. They have a bunch of brands under their umbrella now. So Paul Levine, the owner at Mafucci, I mean, he got to be close to 80 now. He's been the owner for like 50 years. Such a good guy. Whenever I went to try to do my own thing, in between always took me back to work for him. You know, I guess he loved me.
Hey everyone, Matty Mailers here, the guy who pioneered handwritten letters for the moving industry. Why? Because my competition at my moving company was using the same stock postcards as me, and my mailing company didn't care. So I created a better way. Here's some mind-blowing results in July. Miracle Movers Utah closed $93,000 using our handwritten letter strategy. With our campaigns, you can forget about the guessing games. You get a trackable phone number, daily photo proof, an incredible design team, and I'm also included. All letters stop at me for approval before they ever leave our facility. Right now, Movified listeners get 1,000 golden tickets stuffed in our genuine handwritten letters completely free. Plus, I'm going to throw in bulk realtor data for up to 5 counties. What are you waiting for? Moving Letters AI. Stop competing, start dominating.
If you're considering Snowball, just do it. Snowball creates done-for-you referral programs for moving companies so you can turn happy customers into new revenue without lifting a finger. And the results speak for themselves.
In less than a year, we've collected over 2,000 referrals.
We generated over $200,000 of revenue that cost about $5,000 to do it.
I believe we had 4 or 5 the very first day.
The companies winning with Snowball are the ones that already care about their customers. We just help turn that into new business through human outreach and customer nurturing.
Snowball is part of the arsenal of tools that I recommend to my clients because it works.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, we're learning about that even today, you know, about the process of being a really good leader and looking at those that have, you know, that high learning, low learning, right? Low energy, high energy. Where do you fit in this situation? And for an owner to go, hey man, make sure that, you know, here I have an employee that fits that level where I can, you know, motivate and constantly educate, but knowing that he wants to keep trying his own thing. Yeah, the door's always open. It's impressive, especially as a leader, because most of us, you know, you both know, you get that really good guy, and the next thing you know, he goes, hey man, like, I don't think I'm cut out for this. Do this or do that. And then like a month later, you're like, wasn't that John who left us driving down in a 1-cube truck, you know, and trying to poach some of our clients? And you're just like, what just happened here? So, okay, go on.
I want to also mention another family, good family, the Marin family of Marin's Moving.
Shout out.
They established in '97 in Bronx, New York. And they had a good stronghold in New York City, never advertised, old word of mouth, concierge services, building management companies, real estate companies, built a great name, then opened in 2006 in Raleigh, North Carolina. I always stayed good friends with them, worked for them. There was a small stint I worked for them and just stayed friends and eventually acquired them.
Wow.
And yeah, good people. And, you know, they wanted to retire. So eventually bought them. And
how was that process? Because it sounds like they had an established company, they had a foundation.
Yeah, it was a great company, but I think it was just time. You know, the father wanted to retire, the son also wanted to get into other things, and I was just honored to take over the company from them. And so after that, I joined partnership with another gentleman in Brooklyn, TDY Moving. And also started basically from a 1-2 truck operation. We built it up to like a 15 truck operation, big warehouse, the whole 9 yards, a lot of long distance, international, everything. And kind of like after about 5 years, I just told my partner there, like, I want to do my own thing. I don't want to have a partner. I think I'm going to bring my brother in with me. We opened up Northeastern, and then I exited from that company as well. So even though I've been doing this 27 years, this is still relatively a new company, a new venture for us. We're about 6 years, right?
About 6 going.
Northeastern Movers about 6 years. But I wanted to really grow this company organically, naturally. We started with 1 truck in 2019.
Yep.
And 2020, here comes COVID. And we grew exponentially. I mean, we were in New York during COVID, and where a lot of companies were just scared to operate, we stuck it through. And you know what? We had the busiest time of our lives.
So were you part, like, were you a helper working for a movie company at the time? What were you doing?
I was actually, you know, I started in the moving business right out of high school, you know, as a summer job, you know, like my brother, and I never left, you know. It's like my brother said earlier, it's like a moving disease, you know. Started the same, you know, but before then it was just more so foreman, driver, you know, dispatcher.
I was like more of a truck guy.
More of a truck guy, you know. I was on the trucks for 20 plus years.
But what a great combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you have someone that understands the operations, has ran and managed businesses, you know, effectively now for like 25 years.
My brother's like, he's my mentor, you know. He's my brother, he's my business partner. You know, I love him. He's, you know, it's one of, you know, it's a great experience to, you know, actually do something positive and work and work strong with family. With pride, yeah, absolutely, you know. I look forward every day to, you know, seeing my brother in the office, whether it's in the Brooklyn location or the Pennsylvania location. You know, it's amazing. It's an amazing experience.
And do you guys have any other brothers or sisters, or it's just you two?
We do have one older brother. Yeah, not in the business.
Not in the business.
Not in the business.
And what does he think of you two?
I think he admires us.
Yeah, he's gonna be watching this. So he ever say this shit, he might be in trouble.
Moving company owners and home service businesses. This is not another conference pitch. This is about fixing what's been holding you back in your business. If your team is busy, but your profits are flat or worse, negative, your systems are honestly broken. We're gonna show you how to rebuild them. So join me, Jeremy Miner, Jason and Ali Watson, and others on January 9th and 10th in Chandler, Arizona. It's 2 days of proven frameworks, sales training, operations training, and strategy that you can take away right back into your business. You'll walk away with clarity, confidence that moves your business forward. So click below and get in the room.
Hey, it's Mark with Movified, and I'm here to talk about Canada Home Listings. They are the only direct mailer service built specifically for household good movers in Canada. That's right, my hometown. They help moving companies reach homeowners the moment they list their home, with proven mail campaigns that drive results. And for the Movified listeners, they're offering exclusive promotions you won't find anywhere else. So go check them out today. Go online, go do your thing, and go find them. Canada Home Listings right now. Go. And then keep watching the show.
How's the dynamic? Are you both married? Right? I see rings, everything else. Kids?
No kids.
No kids?
Unfortunately, not yet.
Okay, not yet.
Same here, yeah, not yet.
Not yet, not yet.
What do you Married 4 years now. Yes, planning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, absolutely, yeah.
How is the dynamic with your wives and everything else going? Like, the boys are out again, like they got to run the business, they got to do that. Do you guys really try and focus, especially since you've done the grind, right? You've done the grind through your 20s and your 30s, and now it's like, all right, like we got to make sure that there's that balance because we got our wives to make sure that they're happy. But also mentally,
yeah,
to go, guy, like we need to make sure that we're gonna step into the business.
We're very lucky, Edward and myself. You know, we have great wives. You know, they support us in every way possible. You know, we're growing, you know, this business to the next level, and you know, they have our backs. You know, you know, my wife is amazing. My brother Edward's wife Elsa, she's amazing. You know, and you know, they're out.
Also, we know you're watching, so like,
you know, they're our biggest support system.
I'm trying them prior to this. Yeah, sure, you better not be trash talking your wives on this at all.
Mark, I mean, like everything Brian said. I mean, I've been with my wife a really long time, and
she's seen it.
Oh my God, she's endured it, and I would say endured it. You know,
I mean, you eat those rocks. You really do. I mean, when you're in a relationship, and especially in the industry, I mean, there's so many times where we said, if you can own a moving company and go through those wild periods and you have that support system at home, you can't do anything. You really could. You could turn around and open up a bakery. You could open a car dealership. Like you could do anything you wanted to when you have that. But really, in any business, when you have that foundation, you have that support, right? It's always it's just like brotherhood that we have.
Energy is just to grow and do better.
Right.
You know, every day, just do better.
So, all right, enough talking about the wives. You guys are kicked off the business, started with one truck, COVID kicks in, everything else. You guys are bustling. What makes you, and I'm assuming that first location was in Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, we started with Brooklyn, and we had some really good accounts with companies that would like rent furniture.
Okay.
So
we been furniture rentals.
Yeah, big companies. Aronson was one of them, and they're like one of the high end. Well,
how did you fire let me try to rephrase this. I want to like a two-parter.
Mark, I want to tell you this, man. This is like a key. Like a lot of people
Don't put me on. No, I'm trying.
A lot of people can do this. Office in their markets. I mean, maybe not. So in New York City, there's a lot of office moving, and you have to be union. They're union buildings, right?
Sure.
So one of the smartest things I did years ago, I went to all these union movers, and they don't touch household, they don't touch residential, they just do office moving. So I went to all of the owners and I said, look, let me handle, when you have like, you moved a big office for a president, when he's needs to move his personal residence, call me. Let me handle it for you. And I teamed up with pretty much every union mover in Manhattan. So
I hope everybody's writing this stuff down. So this is now the gold.
These are some nuggets here.
And you know what? And I try to offer them, money. They said, no, we don't want anything, Eddie. We just want you to do a good job. And that's what I've done for like years and years and years. So this relationship goes back even prior to this current company. And just off the strength of these relationships, I mean, it's worth gold. They refer me a lot of things that they don't want to do, whether it be small office or residential stuff or long distance stuff. We do a lot of long distance. We partner with these companies on a lot of stuff they have to send out of state. So I got some good connections through them for delivering furniture for, high-end companies, companies that rent furniture, companies that do staging. It's a very big market in Manhattan, and it's been good. It's been great. It's probably one of the smartest things I've done was to partner with these guys.
When especially for a lot of the movie company owners that know the type of market that you have to deal with, especially in New York, and Brooklyn, what have you found that has set you apart from the other competitors?
Set me apart? I mean, probably I have to say the service. I mean, and the constant follow-up after the move. A lot of companies, they don't call their clients afterwards to make sure they're happy and just to thank them for the business or send them a thank you note, Yeah. So I think it's all about relationships. I think it's really just showing the customer, you're empathetic to the situation and that you really truly care about their move and they're not just another dollar sign. Yeah.
I like that a lot because, we heard it today, and I want to throw this nugget out there for those that are listening. It is so key. We think about, oh, okay, great. We want to send out the Christmas cards, right? We want to send out a thank you note. Thank you so much, right? The follow-ups afterwards. But a lot of us, when claims come up, we're always like, oh, shit, here's a claim. Like, how fast can we try and get this customer off our back? But we want to find a good resolution right away. We didn't find it. And today we heard about the apology card, and to do like a handwritten card, to have it customized. Like don't go to like a Hallmark, but we talk about an apology card. So go get a printed card with your logo, and have something written, and maybe get ChatGPT to write something up for your business. But make sure that every claim that you settle and that you deal with follows up with especially an apology card. Or if you know that claim is going to take longer than anticipated, get that apology card out right away. The day you find out about that claim should be the day that apology card gets sent out, so that customer already feels acknowledged and understood, so that you can then go ahead and handle it. Because if you already are delaying that claim, it's like, adding fuel to that fire. The longer it takes, it's one of those things where you could have probably settled that claim for $50 or $100, and you've now let it linger 2-3 weeks. Guess what? That customer now wants $500 for that claim, or $1,000, or that refund, or anything else. So if you could already get that apology card out there, and they're opening up that card by the time you maybe took 2 or 3 days to fully follow up because you're maybe playing phone tag or doing everything else, that to me is key. So I love the fact that you're already playing the follow-up game. You're getting these accounts, and it happens a lot. It's different. Like, people recognize my moving company as a very large moving company. We're a union-based company, so we do a lot of stuff for universities. We get, those office moves that are unionized. And when you run into a situation where you get a bunch of moving companies that phone out, so, hey, listen, can I just do the overflow? Can I do that? Like, what would you tell someone that wants to make that phone call that can't get through the gatekeeper, that can't really get through to those large companies that are getting those big accounts, that they go, man, can you maybe handle it? Can you do this for me? What would you say to them?
Well, Mark, I think you stumped me here. I don't know. I'm gonna have to bring that question back to you. To be honest.
Well, let me try and answer it for you, right? And go, and especially with your demeanor and who you represent, I feel like, you know, one of the things when I asked you what sets you apart, and you're like, it's our service.
Yeah.
And I feel that when you're a moving company that is starting out or unknown, to me, I'm going to check out your website. I want to see if you're using real photos or if you've just like AI generated half these photos on your website.
Get it?
Then I want to look at your Google reviews and see what kind of Google reviews do you have? Because if I'm now passing on some of our clients that need your services, I don't want to see a lot of one-star reviews. And if I see those one-star reviews, I want to see how you're responding and what that complaint actually was. Because we both know sometimes one-star reviews are just a bunch of bullshit. Complaints. So you can tell a person such as a movie company owner, okay, well, this is I get it, compared to this is making me nervous.
Yeah.
Right? And then to me, I, as an owner, I kind of want to, if I know I'm going to want to work with like, you know, Northeastern, I want to like, let's go for coffee. I want to come out and meet you. I want to see your operation, everything else. To go, great. Like, are you a company that actually has a warehouse? Do you have, you know, wrap trucks? Do you guys, do your crew look presentable? Everything that an interior designer, an event furniture company, you know, some type of corporate client that wants to use your on a regular basis is also going to want in them. 100%. You are going out there to represent that company. If that moving company is going to go out there, that I'm going to say, hey, listen, I have a fantastic company. We don't do that part of work, but I know someone that I can recommend. I want to make sure that everything is checked off so that my client is being taken care of. The worst situation is when I go, hey, listen, I'm going to set you up here with Ed and make sure that Edward is taking care of you, or Brian in the office, and they don't even bother following up. And that customer is going like, hey, man, like, I don't know what happened. Like, it's been 3-4 days. They haven't called me back. Or, hey, you know what? Yeah, I think they got it scheduled, but like their follow-up process seems kind of weak. I don't know if they're confirmed for the job. It's already a red flag.
Oh yeah. You know, Mark, is this? Thank you. Who do you answer? Thank you. I've even won business because of the responses I've done on Google to a negative review.
Right.
Where the customer was like, look, I read through some of your reviews, like 99% are great. But the ones that were bad, like I just like the responses to them, and I'm gonna, you know, you kind of earn my business just based off of that too, you know.
So, one truck, COVID happens, everything happens. You guys are booming, everything else. You guys are set up in Brooklyn. You want to go out to Scranton. Why?
I had bought a house there.
Oh my God. Okay. Go on.
Well, in the suburb of Scranton, in a very nice property.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? Let me open a company here too. Let me see what happens, you know. And
this is also coming from a guy that goes, I have no idea where half these places are. You got to say, I just heard them. So when I hear Scranton, I'm thinking of the TV show The Office. So yeah. So like, okay. No, thanks for the. I'm mocking you, but at the same time too, like I appreciate where you're going with this. So
yeah. So I mean,
how far is Scranton? Like
it's only about 2.5 hours from Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, it's within reason. 130 miles.
Sure.
Okay.
What is it in kilometers? I'm sure.
That's funny. I would revert that question back to you more.
That's right. What is it? How many 130 miles?
130 miles.
Okay, so like 80 kilometers.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
I believe whatever you say, Mark.
Like 200 kilometers.
I have no idea.
It's 200 kilometers.
Okay, very nice.
All right. So, very nice. Very nice.
So basically, yeah, I mean, it was basically like shooting fish in a barrel, going out there.
Did you, so, you know, a lot of it, we talk about it, right? Okay, we want to open up another location. We want to like throw it out there and see what's going on. Were you at least like checking who your competitors were? Were you seeing what's going on there? You know, after all these years of experience, were you just like, shit, I'm just going to try and.
I'm going to wing it, Mark. You're wing it. I'm going to wing it, you know. I said, let me just go for it, you know. And then the tough part was when we applied for our PUC. Public utility license, and those companies don't want competition out there. They protested me. They gave me a hard time. They gave me a difficult time.
Really? Shit, am I in Chicago or
so? It's crazy. It's crazy. So you know what? Coming from Brooklyn, like from New York, what did Sinatra say? Remember what he said in New York?
Yeah.
If you could make it here, you can make it anywhere, and it's true. With the hustle, you know, we come from nothing. We're just a couple of broke Brooklyn boys, you know, that grew up in an apartment house. And we have that hustle in us. And So we went to Scranton and we opened up and we started slow and we just caught traction. I mean, the phone would not stop ringing during COVID. Would not stop. I don't think anybody was answering their phones. So we did a lot of interstate because legally, we had the US DOT.
Sure.
So in the interim of applying and going to court and fighting these guys, these characters, and eventually we got it, the local. But
was there one thing that you realized where, sure, these guys were putting up a fight, and it was mainly because they were a lot of sleepy movers, where you guys were coming in with the hustle, or a little bit different?
That's like a thing out there. Like that was always a thing. Old time movers, like those movers, some of them were in business 90 years. They would just protest everybody.
Sure.
So it's like throwing crap on the wall in the beginning to try to see if you're fit. If you have the money, if you have the experience, if you have so you have to prove you're fit. Eventually, after we proved we're fit, the next thing is, basically they said, this company is going to be a detriment to our business if you give them the license. And it's true, But I feel it's America, and if you want to open up a company, you should be able to open a company. You shouldn't.
Now, since you've opened up, have these businesses survived? Which ones have closed down?
Definitely, we took at least 50% of their business, all of them.
What was the key?
Again, reputation. We came in where nobody's even in close when it comes to reviews, And maybe we have an edge on the marketing. Maybe we have a better sales process, I think. And I think maybe this kind of old school movers that aren't, keeping up with the times.
What's one of the best keys of advice that's been ever given to you?
Mark, I can't remember. I never really had any good mentors. I want to touch on like the events that are going on that we're at and are being held all over the country. I mean, I never had any kind of mentorship or any kind of help like the movers nowadays have with the events being held and a lot of mentors out there. I just kind of had to learn everything on my own.
Right. We are talking about events that are going on. And you know what, for me, one of the key things, and I feel for you too, because I kind of got in 2003, 2004. And when I did marketing for moving companies, like there was nearly nothing. You know how it was. You kind of had a website. A lot of the stuff was just like Excel documents that were getting uploaded on your website, $32.99 forms, like your customs forms, like all these random things. And through the time I had my first moving company, my biggest failure that I found was that I didn't try and network myself enough with other moving companies that were larger or learned from them to reach out going, hey, like there was no Facebook pages. There was like nothing out there. But even at the same time too, everybody in my market, that wasn't a thing. Like you're not phoning some moving company who's been around for 50, 60 years and knocking on their door going, hey, listen, I just started this moving company and do you have like a day to spend with me so I can learn everything about your company and then do it better?
No.
Like it wasn't capable.
Yep.
So you just like yourself, you're trying to start things from scratch. You're trying to figure things out. But now we're living in, 2025. Things are different. So what are you doing differently now, especially with the ability to have these kind of networks that you can apply to your business that's a great than it was before?
Thank you, Mark. That's a great question. I mean, I'm so excited. I was a little late to the party with like it's funny. I started following Louis Massaro in 2017 when he first put out his first YouTube video. And I
stop and say that 100% doesn't surprise me, and I'll tell you why. Do you think you can chuckle?
Well, that is sure.
When I first heard about Louis Massaro, and this was like 2021, 2020, around there, I always thought that he was like this New Jersey car salesman. So being from Brooklyn, I feel like this was like, oh, this is my neighbor. Yeah. So, anyways, go on. This is a joke.
Absolutely. So I always said to my brother, joking, I was like a little Louis Massaro, but he's like so much more successful than I am. I kind of knew a lot of the things.
Especially 2017.
Yeah, I mean, I knew a lot of things he was preaching and what he was talking about and what he was teaching.
And did you know who Neighbors Moving and Storage was?
I did not. And I liked his story. I liked Trouble, and I liked that he came out and he told his story about, you know, the trouble he was in. And I think that was key to kind of like telling that story from the beginning to build trust and stuff like that. Because, you know, who knows, maybe someone would have came out and attacked him for it if he didn't speak on it himself first. Right. So I'm just saying I was late to the party. I really didn't start, like, maybe he started doing events in 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
I don't think I went until 2022 to the one in Phoenix and Scottsdale.
We didn't run into each other because, like, that's about the same time I started too.
You know, I met a couple.
Especially with our glasses.
So
like
I was late. I was late.
One with everyone without.
I was late to the party.
Right.
You know, there was a lot of events that I missed, that maybe a lot of you guys had attended. You know, so I think Massaro, and then I think I went to the Titans. What was the Titans last year? Yeah. So I missed a couple of the few Titans. I missed Legend. I never been to a Legends. You know, I mean, so yeah, maybe I was a little bit late.
Just everybody's watching right now. Yeah. Stephen Reed's sitting on the sidelines, and I feel like he's starting to chime in. This isn't Movified Wednesdays, all right? This is a Movified Mondays episode. Just joking.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, I mean, I'm really excited. I mean, networking, I mean, since I started attending these conferences, seminars, whatever you want to call them, I mean, shoot, I really got to meet a lot of dynamite guys in the industry. And I really, you know, look forward to the future and the relationships and the networking. I mean, it means a lot to me. And I admire a lot of you guys.
And I appreciate it. And I appreciate your sentiment of what you're saying, because we could go on a whole, like, another 20 minutes of how similar we're both thinking, where we both were at. Mm-hmm. But where I want to see is that we go to these events.
Mm-hmm.
We go, all right, I'm going to bring everything down. I'm trying to do this. What am I going to implement? How am I going to do this? What is something from, you know, especially in this year of 2025, that you want to start 2026 with, that you want to implement? Like, what are the goals? Like, give me like 2 goals that you want to see with your moving company that you know is going to be pivotal to the success and profit, especially. Fuck revenue, profit for your company.
I mean, I've implemented a lot of strategies that are being offered nowadays, but there's still much more I can do digitally, as far as SEO, as far as, you know, Eric Works was just talking about all these different features with USA Home Listings that I'm not using, and I really took away.
Letters.ai.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. Go on.
Yeah. I booked a $50,000 job with Moving Letters, by the way, so that's like a shameless plug, right?
I love it.
All right. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot I can still be doing that I'm not doing. As far as my website, as far as, you know, speed to call, lead acquisition, marketing. There's so many things that are available to us now with the technology, with the AI. I mean, I really have to up my game there.
But where we are now,
yeah.
What is something that you are planning on implementing, when you go home from this event?
Okay.
And I want to know what's something that you 100% need to implement for 2026.
What we're going to implement right away when we go home? That's a good question. I have to think about that, Mark. You know, you caught me off guard with that one. I'm not too sure, but it's probably definitely going to be something with capturing. I think I'm going to do something with USA Home Listings. They have a feature where you get the data, and you get the data from the realtors, and you get basically, I think there's a feature where they send an email right away. I think Eric was going to offer all of the things he was talking about on paper or on an email.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's something where the data, you get the data and they respond right away to the customer. So basically, before the customer even goes online and looks on Google for movers or looks anywhere else, they already got your information.
And they have that for Canada as well too, for CanadaHomeListings.com.
Yeah, so I think that's something right away that I want to do. Then something that I want to do in the future, I don't know. I mean, it's so much.
Brian, I'm going to hit you up because you've been trying to interrupt our conversation. No worries. So like, literally, you know, like, stop talking so much.
Brian's the star of the show.
I'm actually soaking all of this in. You know, it's a learning experience for me. You know, like I said earlier, I was on the trucks for 20 plus years. First, my brother was in the office for 20 plus years. So
20 plus years. Give me a wild story. Give me a, like, come on.
Oh man,
I'm putting another spot, but I know in your head you're thinking like, can I even tell this story? That's the story I want to hear.
Yeah. Anything and everything you could possibly even think of.
No, don't give everybody that's listening and watching. That's generic.
That's generalized.
From hoarders.
Focus on that. I want to. There's so much. So much. Come on. Come on. I don't know. Working at a Brooklyn.
I don't know where to start.
You know, I can tell you a crazy story.
Okay, great. All right. Jeez, Brian.
Sad. September.
Go back to the walk.
September 11th. 2001.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sad. We worked hard.
Adam moving back then.
Yeah, I was on the water, Harborside, Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Had a bird's eye view of the towers. And we had an account.
Like you're
that
there.
day, I saw the plane go into the towers, and I saw the towers fall. And I saw it snow in Brooklyn from the debris. And my truck was the last. We had an account with the U.S. District Attorney's Office at Varick Street in Lower Manhattan. Our cousin Jeff was on the truck there. Yeah, and it was a federal building. So as soon as the tower got hit, the first tower got hit, they kicked them out of the building, said, you got to go. We were the last truck allowed over the bridge, and they shut it down.
Over the Manhattan Bridge.
He would have been stranded in Brooklyn. I mean, he's stranded in Lower Manhattan. They let the truck over. And
What?
really crazy.
Deeper on this because I was looking for a fun story, but no, like,
yeah, it's a deep story.
What is that feeling?
Oh.
Like this shit is happening.
No cell phone usage. No, nothing worked. You try to make a phone call. You got a busy signal.
Yeah.
You're thinking we're under attack. You know, one plane right after the next. I mean, my mother worked for the NYPD. She had to walk over the bridge that day because there was no train service. There was nothing. People were covered in debris. People were running out of their shoes, leaving their wallets and purses behind, trying to duck for cover. I had friends. I had classmates. I was out of school then, but I had classmates that I went to school with that had parents that were fathers that were firefighters that passed away. Real sad, real sad. And I remember doing jobs out of Lower Manhattan, out of the financial district, because everybody had dust and debris in their apartments. So we had moving trucks lined up on every single block. Thereafter, moving people out of Lower Manhattan.
Hi, I'm Mark Hirschi with Salmon's Moving and Storage. Today, I want to talk about Tighten Up training. Why? Because this is Netflix grade quality training. It's not those old videos and VHSs that you got hiding in your office somewhere. It's online, it's easy to use, they're short videos, but they get to the point. My new employees, these guys run through these training programs, there's tests at the end, and they're coming out going, oh, I'm ready to rock. So if you haven't checked out Tighten Up training yet, get a demo done. Get on board. Guess what else is there? Online portals for my sales staff. Can you believe it? These guys can learn how to overcome objections and book more leads today. So what are you waiting for? Go check out Tighten Up training today. It's gonna be hard because, like, the running joke obviously is when you work with restoration companies, you're like, I hope for the flood, I hope for the tornado, hope for this, and then this happens.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's like that weird situation where you're like, okay, we got a lot of work ahead our way, but it's at such a sad, pivotal point.
Another crazy
in history.
Yeah. We could touch back on that in a second, but I want to also mention Hurricane Sandy in 2012.
Right.
I mean, that was devastation and all. Anyone who was waterfront, anything in Brooklyn, Staten Island, Long Island.
My wife was there too. She was living in Manhattan at the time.
Oh yeah, Manhattan got devastated.
Yeah, it was
also full of water.
Yeah, she tells me like it was a wild time.
Well, it was bad. Sandy was really bad. We used to have to wait online for gas. You have to line up at like 4 in the morning.
Hours, and then you're lucky if you even get gas.
I pulled
Goes to the moving truck. It's not like you're trying to just run a car and you're like, I got to go to work. We have moving trucks that need fuel.
Yeah, that was
diesel especially.
And even at that time, there was some times where, customers wouldn't understand that look, we need diesel in the trucks, but we're waiting for hours on hours just to.
And Mark, about COVID, we're talking about COVID earlier. I mean, guys doing walk-ups, 5-flight walk-ups on Manhattan, wearing a mask. The customers telling them to have to wear the mask. You know, that was tough too.
Yeah, very tough. Let's not forget here. I only asked for once. You know, but
Here's how they going. You guys are going.
It's wild situations that we've all had to live through that a lot of people don't understand, right? And especially if you're listening and you start your movie company in like 2024, like, buddy, like, buckle up. Like, you didn't have your company during a financial crisis in 2008. You didn't go through, like, you know, what happened in 2001. You didn't see what was going on in, you know, in 2020, or, you know, when COVID kicks in. I mean, even that time period, isn't it a wild, when you just like blink your eyes?
Hey, time flies.
Shit, we went through COVID, which was such a wild time. Customers going, where's your mask? And you're doing 5-floor walk-ups.
Yep.
And guys that have already health issues, guys that, let's be honest, okay? Like, we're slowly changing the industry with a little, like, more health and fitness. But boy, these guys in the truck, like, they like their donuts, they like their food, and they like their cigarettes. So now you're telling them to put on a mask, keep the mask on, or they're like pulling down the brass, and you got a customer yelling at them, and it's like, it's a shit show.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully we don't have this anymore, but it's wild because, you know, it makes me think, right? Like, now we're going on tangents, but it makes me think too, is like the health and fitness. Someone said to me once, they said, you know what, you don't own a moving company, you own a fitness industry. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they say, well, you have guys that are basically working out every day, but you're not applying them into eating a healthy lifestyle, making sure they're staying fit, making sure they're staying healthy. And that's where you get a bunch of guys in their 50s and 60s going, oh, I need my knees done, right? Or I got back issues, and I got this issues, and I got that issues, and everything else going on. I got all these health issues, and it's like, yeah, because you're sitting on a truck and you're running to the next fast food, right? You're not meal prepping, or you're not eating healthy, or maybe we got to change what's in our vending machines in our office and stuff to not chips, but maybe protein bars, right? And water, or like energy, you know, something that are healthier. Or at least implementing this in our staff meetings or drivers meetings, right? Hey guys, like, we want to implement better health.
Yeah.
And I've been to New York a dozen times, and I've been to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I love my pizza. And
there.
shout out to Joe's.
Yeah,
right?
Joe's?
Like,
Okay.
you know, I like East Village, and, you know, all of that fun stuff. But, you know, it's very easy for a lot of movers to go, I'm just going to grab the quickest thing.
Yeah, that's food, right?
And there's so many service and everything else. But you go through something like COVID and you realize, man, like, health is a real big thing, because a fit person, or someone that, you know, does work out or has good lungs and is not smoking, could handle 5 flights of stairs with a mask on and still be annoyed. So you now times it by 10, where someone that's like not healthy, I'm going on a tangent.
That's fine, Mark. No,
But like, it's a reality that we do need to look at, especially probably even in the industries they are, Brand, Berkeley, and everything else. So, you know, it's one of those things that I want to tell everybody going, when you are hiring for drivers, for helpers, implement this in your culture. It needs to be part of your culture. Hey, sure, I might have a pizza day, but like, we need to live a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And hey, listen, I love you. I want you to work for me, but I also want you to live until you're like 89 years old.
Yeah.
I don't want you dying on my truck. So, like, this needs to be part of your life. And if it's not, this isn't the right company for you. Go work down the street at somebody that doesn't care, because we care.
You know, Mark, we have a location right next to a gym. I think I'm going to offer free gym memberships to all my employees moving forward.
I went to one of the local supplement companies that does protein shakes and everything else. And one of the biggest things I said to them is, listen, I want to send movers my way. I want to send customers your way. But I want to be able to offer my guys a discount that if they're driving through, that they can just grab a protein shake from you, like quick and easy. And they said, hey, no problem. You know what? All your guys will get like 20-30% off. Beautiful. And I said, actually, I want you something better. Like, can I prepay so that if a guy walks in with a moving shirt from my company, that they just automatically get
Well, that's great.
Wow. And they were like, done.
Nice.
Right? So and then at the end of the time, I'm always then promoting this company or promoting to the guys, right? So it's about building your community, but also then doing it a healthy lifestyle, right? So my guys know anytime they stop by there, they get a free shake.
I love it. That's a free takeaway from this conversation. Absolutely.
Beauty. Boys, this has been great.
I love it.
I love it. Solid. Yeah, to keep talking forever. Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Brooklyn boy.
Brooklyn and
Brooklyn. Pennsylvania. Hey, Browns. For those that are listening, if you love this episode, drop some comments. If you have some questions for these two, we'd love to know. If you're in their area and you want to just sit down and talk, maybe you want to also say, hey, listen, we do this and you guys do that, and maybe we can build this business together. Absolutely. Give them a shout out, give them a drop, give them a line. This is what it's all about. It's about building community. This is what Movified Nation is all about as well too. And if you haven't signed up for Movified Nation, please do. Start.movifiednation.com. Fill out a quick form. Join our newsletter. It's what we want. We want to build this community with you, with the other movers that are out there, so that we can offer and help you with SOPs, with services, with masterminds. We are here to help you. This is why we have this podcast. We have boys like this.
Can I just add one last thing? Yeah, I want to tell everybody out there that, I don't know it all, but I am a wealth of information. If there's anybody out there that wants to reach out to me, feel free. And I want to provide as much value to everyone out there. And I want as much as I want to get the value myself. So freeze, by all means.
I really thought your brother was going to be like, man, just like a tidbit of information. Mark knows his shit, and he's like so good and everything else. And as you want to, man, this guy knows his stuff, and he's self-plugging himself.
Nah, listen, Eddie, we love you, Mark. Mark is the man. Eddie's very knowledgeable about the business, and like he said, it's a learning experience. I'm happy to learn new things every day, and I appreciate Mark having us on this. We appreciate you having us, Mark. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot. You're awesome. I appreciate it, buddy. Absolutely.
See you, Movified, everybody. Until next time. See you later.